Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful, sunny, late spring morning, the last week of May. We've had unbelievable warm temperatures from 2 weeks ago when I was covering things with frost to now when we've had a 90-degree week, which these new spring bloomers have shown a little bit of stress. But today's video is the showstoppers in the garden, and we have several. The clematis have come out in full color. This is Carnaby. I have a second spring for Carnaby, and I love what Carnaby is doing. It's going to cover this whole trellis. The color's beautiful, particularly once this beautiful magenta. I went and looked up heritage peonies because these are slips I've been given, and this is from I have a name here. It's called Zyverden series. This is Carl Rosenfield, this magenta color. And I've visited many gardeners and helped them in their gardens. And if you're a new gardener, just ask gardeners who have these perennials. They'll gladly give you a slip. This one here is called Festiva, and this came out of my mother's garden. It's white with the center has a little bit of pink in it, and very, very fragrant. I found these to be very fragrant. The one beside it, which isn't in bloom yet, is Sarah Bernhardt. Again, another gardening friend whom I helped out years ago. Probably as old as I was and thought they were ancient, but anyhow, I went and helped them garden. So this morning it's a showstoppers. So the peonies and the clematises, or clematis, however you pronounce it, are out. But as we go down into our garden, of course the flower box is doing nicely. By next week we should see some little bit of color coming out. That's a pink looking one too. But as we come down into the garden, the spires of the foxgloves are just amazing. Oh, got the dogs going. But let's scan over here to my left. And I love how this clematis, and this is its second season. This is called Sarah Elizabeth. The color is just light, but yet the center's really pretty. And against my senna geranium, those colors, it wasn't planned. Isn't it amazing when you put something in the garden and it turns out to be this pretty? The senna geranium going right into the Sarah Elizabeth. Well, the peonies, they're waning. This heat in some of them is starting to dry up their little buds. I did water this whole garden, this whole perennial bed here. I'm gonna get behind there we go. You can see the spires of the foxgloves. Now, those are things that make us all happy, those spring bloomers. But they were showing a lot of heat stress. Their little tops were flopping over, so I did water this bed a couple days ago to get them through the worst of the heat. But these irises, like if we don't get rain today, which you're supposed to, this bud looks like it could dry up and we won't get to see its beauty. Let me come around. These seeds were given to me years ago, threw them in the garden. The whites that are in the garden, I did start from seed in 2020, in the winter of 2020, with that method of putting them in a gallon jug and leaving them outside. And I think I only had 4 plants, but this year they bloomed. And there is really something rewarding about planting your own plants and getting them to bloom. This beautiful little peach one called Dalmatian Peach, I did pick up, and it bloomed the first year, and there's another one that's blooming to the left here, and I'll show you that. But I think this is the showstopper, are these spires of the foxgloves as they come through the garden. This is a new peony called Shirley Temple, and I love how it's pure white. I thought it might even be fuller and bigger, and maybe next year it will, but this is its first year to bloom, and it's fragrant as well. But as you see these spires coming up in the garden, it is They're just lovely, these foxgloves. I think everyone needs to have this kind of height. When I stand against these spires, I'm 5'2", and I even have a little, look at this, my hand at the top of these spires. I'm just thrilled with them this year. What a gorgeous, gorgeous show of color. Everything has been so nice. We just do need rain terribly, and we're supposed to get some. Back in the back, here is another Carl Rosenfield, and it's just beautiful. And I do always say it's lovely against this black fence when you look through here. Forget-me-nots still in bloom. Let's come around here. A little iris just popped up. It wasn't planted there. Who knows how it got there? But let's come down. The hosta border's looking wonderful. Although I have watered that too. They were looking a little hot. The temperatures will drop. Look at these. It makes everybody happy to see this kind of color. And I have those, and there's many, like you can see, I'm gonna get a few more blooms too. Back in here is the Salvia Snow Hill, and it has a nice spike structure to it too. I have 3 of those plants throughout the garden. The other tall spire thing is the lamb's ear, which I think it looks pretty right now, but as time goes on, those tall spears will flop over, and I'll cut them back to expose this beautiful soft foliage, which I love because it has such a pretty blue hue. And it looks like a lovely carpet in the front of the border and gives it a real soft edge, which I like. But for now, those are the stars. And I would say in another week, whatever roses I have, they will be in bloom, and we can talk about those. But it's the foxgloves, the clematis, the peonies, and can't beat the river's edge this morning. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.